tienes que cerrar y tienes que no.
You got to close them strong. Close them strong.
Ya, pero. Es todo lo que puede hacer.
Joel, let your fucking hands go. Get the towel off his head.
So they work on that cut on the right eye of Joel Julio. The referee, Raul Caya Sr., informed us that was from a punch in the last round. Check in with Harold Letterman.
Okay, Bob. 6 rounds to 3, 87, 84, Alfredo Angulo. Bob, I got Angulo winning 5 rounds in a row. I mean, you know, when you're fighting the kind of fight Joe Julio's fighting, you're moving, you're always punching, you know, when you're on your toes and you're punching on your toes, you got to outwork a big banger like Angulo. And since round 4, Julio just hasn't done it. He hasn't outworked him to, you know, enough to win a round. He's throwing punches, he's moving just like he did there, gets in an occasional shot, but nothing serious. They're just not real hard shots. On the other hand, Angulo, flat-footed, hard right hands, effective right hands, the kind of punches that really kill you. He's winning a fight. 87, 84, Angulo.
We're at ringside, HBO's Boxing After Dark from Ontario, California. Bob Papa, Max Kellerman, Lennox Lewis, Chris Arreola, Thomas Adamick still to come in our main event. And after HBO's Boxing After Dark, it's 24/7. Mayweather Mosley. No knockdown so far in the fight between Alfredo Angulo and Joel Julio.
You know, Julio is almost like a power pitcher who is having some success with some off-speed stuff, and he finds himself in trouble late in the game, and the question is, does he still have a fastball? Because if he does, he needs to throw it.
Domination from Julio. And then Angulo tries to get himself right back in position to throw his heavy-handed shots.
Julio better watch it right now because, you know, after every punch, he's doing the same thing. He's getting out and he's moving to his left. All the time moving to that left. After a while, Angulo's going to time it and come across with that right hand, because that's what I would do. Knowing that he's going to come out and he's going to move to that left.
Corner of Julio screaming, Joel, you got to let your hands go. He does. One of those 3 got through.
And he's moving to the left with the left hand down, so recipe for disaster when you do it that way.
Angulo just keeps the pressure on.
In spite of the fact that Julio's had a very good little 20-second, 30-second stretch here.
Julio at full retreat as the bell rings to end round number 10. Well, still to come in our main event, heavyweight Chris, the Nightmare Arreola from Riverside, California. Says the 250 pounds he weighs is a good 250. Says he spent extra time in the gym, feels fit, feels like he's worked on his technique. We'll see tonight as he takes on Thomas Adamick. The 33-year-old, born in Poland, living in Jersey City, New Jersey. Personable young man, 40-1. Former light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion. Now in his 3rd fight at heavyweight. That's coming up in our main event on Boxing After Dark. Round number 11 underway between Alfredo Angulo and Joel Julio in the scheduled 12-rounder. No knockdown so far in the fight. It's been a rugged fight. Julio has used movement. Sometimes he's run. Angulo continues to stalk him. To Julio's credit, he has taken some big shots from Angulo. He's delivered some big shots of his own, like right there.
And you know, to Angulo's credit, I don't think he's at his best tonight. I got the impression, Bob, I don't know how you felt about it, but it seemed to me that yesterday he was low energy when we talked to him, and just didn't, even in the early rounds here, didn't look like the Angulo we're used to seeing when he's at his best. And he's faced with a determined challenger who's in the best shape he's been in, who's boxing very well, and he's winning the fight in spite of that.
Combination there from Angulo. Rocks back Julio.
And he's winning it by doing what he always does, remaining calm, cutting off the ring, pressuring his man steadily, going to the body, throwing the shorter, better shots on the inside, absorbing punches well.
It's safe to say, though, this is going to be a tough fight to score. I don't think it's necessarily cut and dry with some of these rounds.
I think Angulo has done enough since, I guess it was round 5 or 6, since the middle rounds to...
Oh, right hand drops Julio. He did enough right there.
Well, like I said, it's time that...
Julio's up, and it's stopped by Raul Caiz Sr.
Not only did he time it, as Lennox Lewis pointed out he would, but I think that was also the effect of those many short shots on the inside and body shots that accumulated through the first 10 and a half rounds.
And he kind of lulled him into a false sense of, you know, he's not going to do anything. And all of a sudden, there goes that right hand because he kept on doing that same thing. Plus, that left hand was down, so he suffered from it.
A very impressive showing by Angulo when all is said and done.
No, Lennox, you said eventually he was going to time it, and he did time that movement of Julio, and he just crushed him with a right hand.
And here it goes. Shows that left hand. He knows that right hand's going to come through. It's been coming through all night. Timed perfectly over. Here you see it from another angle. Just dips to his left, right over that left hand. Every time Julio throws that left hand out, he brings it back down. So, you know, eventually it was going to catch up with him, and it did.
Can't place it any better than that either, Lennox. Crushing right hand by Alfredo Angulo. All that punishment, all those hard punches from the 27-year-old Alfredo Angulo in his very workmanlike style. Just keeps digging in, and he dug in with the defining punch. And the official time of the stoppage to the ring and Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 39 seconds of round number 11. The winner by knockout victory, still the interim WBO World Champion, Alfredo El Perro Angulo.
Well, Alfredo Angulo stops Joel Julio in the 11th round. We take a look at the final punch numbers in the fight for Angulo and Julio, Julio tried to use his movement and pot shot Angulo. He had some success early, but the heavy-handed Angulo threw 880 punches in the fight. You see that Julio landed at a better connection during the course of the fight, but the power punch numbers were the key thing for Alfredo Angulo in this fight. 122 of 368 power. We take a look at the punch zone numbers, and you see to the right the punches landed on Julio. Angulo did enough with those hooks to the body. He landed 60 of those 167 to the body, and the rest went upstairs, and he was able to finish him off with that right hand to the left side of Julio's head, stopping him in the 11th round.